Exterior, back patio. Kyle's just home from work and ready to see his roommate and good buddy Shane.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm tanning my asshole. Do you mind? This week on No Accounting for Taste, wellness culture.
You really put a lot of effort into that.
I wrote it out.
You wrote that out?
Yeah.
Kyle, you're good with words. You know that, man?
I think the gym is dumb.
Did Rachel walk in the room? Of course I've eaten a Baconator.
Man, if you ain't doing CrossFit, you can get CrossFit.
You're right. A long burger's not the worst idea I've ever heard.
That's your sitcom right there, as a Mr. Fix-It-All who just can't fix his heart.
We will not be defending Atlantic City.
No accounting for taste. If it's something that somebody loves, let's try and celebrate it instead of shitting on it. Giddy up, everybody! Shane, how are you?
I'm good, buddies. I missed you.
Are you well?
I am well. I am good. I am well.
Why are you well?
Because I'm here with you, Kyle. This is good for my emotional well. I'm here with you and Charlene, and I'm not drinking because it's 9 o'clock on the East Coast, and I probably won't go back out tonight. So I think that's wellness for me.
That is not drinking because you're at. I usually don't drink at home, yet here I am drinking at home. But okay. That's good. You're taking care of yourself.
I'm trying. Yeah. Been way off my food stuff lately. I was doing so well, and I've been way off on food lately.
What? Oh yeah. Were you strictly dieting, or were you just kind of watching what you?
I did it really well.
Watching it go in his mouth.
I was doing so well. I got on Sunbasket, which is like one of those companies that delivers food. And you like cook it, and I was doing really well on that, so I knew exactly what was going in. And then I was gone for 2 weeks, and all hell broke loose. And then I tried a new company called Freshly, which is basically a hungry man dinner for people who want to enjoy their food less. It's fucking disgusting.
I was gonna say, like, one of those companies that delivers food. Like, that's Pizza Hut also. I mean,
yeah. I'm basically just. I think Grubhub is a dieting app. And then now I got a new one called Blue Apron, which is basically just the only benefit from it so far is that I just haven't been going to the grocery store, but all my groceries are still going bad. So I'm really fucking blowing it. But
it's like $80 to just get like an eggplant somebody dropped down the stairs delivered to your door, and you're like, well, I'm gonna still get Pizza Hut.
Yeah. Well, the box this week had a boot mark on it, so I really think it's gonna.
Hell yeah, we're gonna kick this diet's ass. Yeah. But that's good. You like that? Okay, so you are taking the diet into account of your personal wellness. Yeah. I lit some incense.
Like a good Catholic.
Well, yeah, that's not frankincense.
I did a cleanse this weekend.
What kind of cleanse? What'd you do?
I got food poisoning.
That counts.
It does.
Technically, involuntary cleanse.
I truly, oh boy. I ate something. I'm not sure what it was. And I showed up to the club, and I was like, I don't feel so hot. I was like, you guys have ginger ale? And they were like, yeah. And then I was like, anything else? They're like, no. Then I went out on stage, and I just told the audience, I was, hey, guys, I don't feel good. I'm going to try and do my set. And they were like, okay. And then I kept doing that, like, you know, some of those kind of like, some of those, whatever you want to call them.
Not dry heaves, but like.
Yeah. I did the one where you throw up in your mouth a little bit, but you swallow it.
A wet heave.
A wet heave.
Wet heaves. I thought that was just the whole thing.
Usually a wet heave's a fun thing for me, if you know what I'm saying. And then
not really. I'm still kind of confused what you'd call a wet heave.
Sex.
We're going to go back to my place for the old wet heave?
Wet heave, yeah.
A little moist hoist for you? A little wet heave? I've disgusted Charlene. She's quit.
The old hydration hole. The damp dunk. The damp dunk.
It's that we've lost all listeners. Why give you credit for knowing you were going to throw up and then still getting to a safe place?
I was like, I gotta go, guys, and I just yelled the host's name. I was like, get out there, and he just wasn't anywhere to be found for a moment, and I was like, guys, I gotta go, and then he finally, like, as I was running into the green room, he was like, what's going on? I was like, just get out there. Like, I don't have time to explain this shit to you. Think that I'm in an emergency. It's like there's an active shooter out there and I'm sending you in my place.
That's what I was just going to say. It's an active shooter. I'm headliner. I don't have to take these bullets. You're Secret Service now.
And then I just fucking flat, like into John for like a good 2 minutes of like hard bile. And then wash my face, walk back out, finish my set. And the good thing is that I was recording my set so I could listen to it later, and I left it on. So you get there is audio of me leaving the stage and coming back, and just
that's a pretty special treat for a unique type of fan.
Yes, Charlene, I'll send it to you. Maybe we can put it at the end of the show or for the Patreon.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'm just like, why don't everything bagels cost more?
Oh, God, I'd barf if I had to hear that joke again, too.
Yeah, well, you know what? The New York Times called it the bit of the year, dickhead.
Oh, yeah, because New York Times is crushing comedy. Those jokes.
Whatever local zine you got written up in.
Hey, listen, man. Krusty's Foot Locker gave my last album 9 Doc Martens out of 10. So,
Well, and I'm also lying. The New York Times didn't say anything about that bit, but I'm pretty sure they would have. They got a nice health section.
Okay, let's get on topic, Shane. So we're talking about wellness. You purged yourself of the things. I have done that. I was living for a while where I just had lifestyle diarrhea, where like there was no instigators. It's like, well, this is what I've done, and my body's saying, my body's like, you can't have this in you anymore. But I had to start looking at, I've tried some things. I've done float tank, and I've done some fruit juice kind of stuff. I never did like the lemon cleanse or anything.
I always wanted to try that one. But it looked like so intense you kind of have to go all in, you know?
Yeah, because we're talking about wellness culture.
Yeah.
A lot of it does seem like fad bullshit. Like especially when it's like the lemonade cayenne pepper. Like, I don't know how that's good. Like, oh, you just flush out your system. Like, just drink a lot of water. Like, I don't understand the maple syrup. Rachel did it. She's like, yeah, my teeth felt like they were going to fall out of my head because it's just maple syrup and lemon juice and cayenne pepper. And I'm just hungry and my teeth hurt. That's all that happened.
I had a buddy who did that, and he was just like, oh, I lost like 10 pounds. And I was like, but you're still the same amount of fat. You know, like you didn't do anything. Like you cleaned yourself out. So I think that is good. But you're trying to like lose weight, like fat, that's what you're concerned with. This is not what that's doing. You don't look any better. You're still the same fat guy.
The keto diet, where I remember I knew people are like, well, I could still have whiskey and beef jerky. I'm like, you're dying. You are just going to get to enjoy a narrower coffin. That's all you're going to get from this.
Yeah, there's nothing
like it's not
about
healthy.
It. Yeah, I think the issue is so many people just get right in because everyone cares about their health, I think, for the most part, to some degree. Most people. And I think they just jump.
You are a comedian, as am I. Yeah. Oh, we're surrounded by people just trying to die sooner.
But how many of them are so full of shit, too? They all, live fast, die young, and then the moment they're like, my back hurts, I really got to slow down.
Well, it's not fast. I don't think they're like, hell yeah, man, I'm shooting heroin and riding my Harley down the Sunset Strip. It's just like, why eat one pizza when you could eat 2 pizzas? I mean, that's me. If they offer me a double bed or like 2 beds when I go to a hotel, I always get the 2 beds because there's one for eating and one for sleeping. So I know. One bed I just lay out sexy next to the food, and then that whole bed's a napkin, and then
that's
I lay
exactly what I do.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
so it's not live fast, die young.
But
It's
there's something-
live shitty, die sooner than you should have. And that's not a cool bumper sticker. But that's like actual diets and everything. Have you tried any kind of like goofball stuff?
Oh,
You got crystals? You got prayers?
crystals.
Meditation?
I can't. I know so many of our friends are probably into them, but I'm like, I think it's fucking snake oil and nothing else. And I'm glad some people get stuff out of it that they really believe they do, but like, I don't see, like, someone has told me like this is really good for whatever, this crystal or this rock or this kind of quartz is good for like sleep, and I'm just like, you're the dumbest fucking person if you believe that. Like,
Well, this
that's not
crystal's
you're
good for
willing
positive
that.
energy, so I'm going to
Yeah.
give it to you.
Yeah, if you like it so goddamn much, put 1,000 of them on your bed and sleep on them. I bet you'll sleep like a fucking baby. Like, I think it's just
Yeah.
like, and I get it. We all need our things, our coping things, but like, I think my problem with wellness stuff, and I hope that I get my mind changed on this because I'd like to be a little more well, is like that most of it really seems like fad bullshit. Like, it's the same way, it's like astrology. Like, it doesn't seem connectable. And when applying it to your health, I think it's a little more serious than some of those things.
So, and that's the negative. Like, I think it's bullshit too. But whereas I'm like, if you're not hurt, if you're all right, like, hey, I'm going to spend $30 at the crystal shop. It's not $30 there or $30 on groceries.
Yeah. There's a financial component to it that if you can afford it. I mean, I ain't helping myself when I'm like, I need to feel better, and then I order a pound of pad thai. Yeah.
Yeah, or just like inanimate objects that you have around your house that make you feel better by looking at them.
Yeah,
that's all I look at as crystal. I'm not going to be like, this one's for when I'm feeling blue, and this one if I'm getting too horny, and this one if I'm not horny enough.
Yeah.
Like, that's bullshit. If you're just like, I think all these rocks are pretty. Some people have candles. Some people have Precious Moments figurines, and I have these rocks that sometimes I put in the moon because in the moonlight to charge them. So I think it's a silly thing. Here's a bit that I have about getting energy from unorthodox places and why I can't make fun of crystal people, because I get my energy, I get my well of energy replenished whenever I see a pretty person get on a Southwest flight last. And that's the joke. But that also feels great to me, is to watch a beautiful woman slowly realize she has to sit in a middle seat. And that's when I feel better. That's equality.
That's, what do they call it? Schadenfreude?
Schadenfreude. Yeah, that's Schadenfreude. That's what you get. That's when someone else has fries and you want some.
Schadenfreude.
So you take their fries.
Hey, stop shiding my fries.
Schadenfreude. You come in, order fries, we take them out of somebody else's mouth, give them to you, and you get to laugh at that person.
I like that. That's fun. I guess even with the candles thing, when somebody likes candles, like you can get there can be an aroma or something, so like it's sensatory. So even that I can give a little, like, maybe there's some way it could affect you and make you feel better, but like the crystals, I don't see it. That's the one I kind of have like my biggest issue with. Also, I will say this. When my mom was sick, I was home a lot, and I would go to my buddy TJ's bar. He owned it, and he was like this punk guy I grew up with, and good guy, great guy. Owns a bar. He's successful enough now. He's like less of a drunk than he was, but still owns a bar. Good, fun guy. And he was like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry that your mom's not doing well." I was like, "Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it." He goes, and he was like, "I got some crystals for her," and I was just like, "It's so sweet of you to offer, But my mom was a nurse practitioner. Like this is not the kind of shit. This is goddamn. Take your fucking witchcraft down the street. I've got very Texas on it in my mind.
Yeah, take this bullshit out of here. She needs a rosary. Stuff that works.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you did have the priest come and give her last rites. So I was like, this guy's a fucking asshole too.
So lateral move on the make believe crap. But
it's
all
for me for sure.
Let's wrap up our personal ideas.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to some facts about this wellness culture, Shane. What do you say?
Facts. We'll be right back after this break.
And we're back.
We're back, everybody. Kyle's been a real prick so far.
Maybe I'm just centered and full of wellness, and you're not.
Oh, God damn it. I love you.
Incorrectly. I've been taking a lot of Orin baths.
Oh, man. Are we starting with the bad? Are we starting with the bad or the good?
Well, all right. Let's talk about some of the extremes that are out there.
That's good.
There's some stuff out there that is like, I think, like you were saying, snake oil. Like, I think people are like, all right, let's do a smash and grab on some real goofy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, like if we come up
pee,
with...
Like, but there's pee stuff. Like, people just drink pee, and pee's free. I make pee every day. I don't know how you're making money off pee. That's all over the place.
Yeah, goddamn.
You can just get pee.
Yeah, I mean, I make piss too.
I don't know how that's like a trend. Like, that nobody's making money on it.
Apparently, there's this movement out there in some. This might even, and this also could be very far-reaching in wellness culture. It could be a little further out. Like,
yeah,
like Goop might be like, these people are fucking nuts. But and then but there are people out there who believe urine has medical properties. Basically, is kind of what I'm saying. There's this guy who
medical waste has medical properties. It's the waste from the procedure.
Yeah. Diabetic urine has medical properties.
Imagine peeing and be like, not so fast. You get back here. Like, that's what your body doesn't want.
It's disgusting. But they're out there and they're like putting this piss in soup and I guess solids. It seems like you would really want to get it down as fast as you could and not have to chew it. And like one guy, Charlene, you pulled that clip of that guy from...
I sure did. I listened to more of him than I needed to find a clip. But he believes in
I was going to say, we found one goober on Instagram. But we have to remember that, like, one guy doing some crazy stuff...
It's not an entire movement.
It's not always the tip of the iceberg. Like, that means there's a bunch of people doing it. I think there was maybe one other person into it, and then they saw this guy. They're like, oh, people think I'm like him? I can't do the pee thing anymore. But where you found
I look good in these toe shoes, and then you see two weirdos walking on Venice Beach Boulevard. You're out. Yeah.
Well, here's what he says about some of the benefits.
How does urine balance your hormones? That's a really good question. I'm not really scientifically minded to answer that. Like, I don't have the scientific studies to speak about that. I just know that it balances my hormones intuitively because of how it makes me feel. But I couldn't tell you the technical know-how and like this goes here and this goes there and like that's why it works.
His piss chugger doesn't have the science to back it up.
That's great. Hey, bring in the guy who eats his own shit. That's a real genius.
And it's all free.
I mean,
it's all free.
He made your point. It's all free.
Well, at what point, how much pee do you drink before the pee that you're drinking is just the pee that you drank? And you just become this Ouroboros fountain.
I do think it's important to note that not only is he drinking the pee and making soup out of pee and drinks out of pee, but he's also giving himself a urine enema. So it's working on both sides, the pee is.
Go piss up your own asshole is a thing he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What a fuck.
I mean, he calls it butt-chugging urine, but yeah.
Butt-chugging. Clearly. This guy doesn't have the medical backup, I gotta butt chug my piss real quick.
Yeah. Okay, but this guy looks like he's a clown. Like, I mean, he might not be real. Like, I don't trust stuff like at all. Like, some things on the internet are just like, oh, clout. You did it for clout. You did some crazy stuff. But there are legit things that people are doing, like Goop as a whole.
Yeah,
which has been widely mocked. Gwyneth Paltrow, who would think she's been out of touch with how the world works? What do they put? Like they sell you miniature versions of that statue from the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark, and you can shove that up your ass or whatever. And they got all kinds of dumb stuff over there. But I feel like that's just like the sharper image for out of touch millionaires is what Goop is. Like,
yeah, this is the as seen on TV of health. Like,
yeah,
it's trash, and like I mean, the thing is, I know we try and do the positive on this shit, like, or try and find a positive in these things that are maligned. Wellness as an idea is good. There just seem to be all these fucking grifters around it, like any business, you know, and the idea that wellness is a business and a culture now, that's health, and that's been here forever. You
That's
know,
what
like,
I say.
Yeah.
Wellness sounds like the legal thing. Like once they get taken to court, like we didn't say it was healthy. We said it was for wellness.
Yeah.
Healthy would imply that we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Wellness is just this big umbrella we're all sitting under, drinking our own piss.
Yeah, drinking our own piss and steaming our vages. There's one that says there is a thing like. And I think this is a Goop thing of vaginal steaming, where you steam a pot of water. Yeah. God.
It's right there, man.
I know.
Right there, man. Underhand pitch. You're underhand pitching these things.
Yeah, you fucking... And it's a long fly ball to the back of the field. And that one's going to land in Boys Town. Kinane hits another out of the friendly confines. See how I did it for your hometown team?
No, I liked it. I think I understood it. Anyway, steamed vaginas.
Yeah. But
anyway, the old hot lips treatment.
Yeah, the old pucker sucker. I don't know. Anyways,
well, what are they doing? Are they getting the wrinkles out of it? What's the point?
It's like when you don't know how to iron a shirt well, but you just throw it. You wet it and just throw it in the dryer for a little bit, so it just doesn't have wrinkles.
Hanging in the bathroom when you're taking a shower.
Yeah, but what you do is you boil water and you kind of squat over it. Somehow, like you bring water to a boil, and then you put it under your nanner, and let the steam get up in there, I guess.
But what's that for?
And I got to say, what's your fella not doing that's just not happening natural in your bedroom times? Sorry, I turned into the ladies' man for a second. But it's just like, I don't think they understand, standing over a pot of boiling water is dangerous. Like, you can burn the shit out of yourself. I think
someone will then eat, and that'll be a whole thing.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. Yeah. And you can get a steam burn too. Like, that's another thing. I don't like.
Well, that's like there's perineum bathing. That's where you
butthole sunning.
You take the phrase "where the sun don't shine" and finally let the sun shine there. Who is the celebrity that got their ass?
Josh Brolin. My man, JB.
Of the film Thrashin'.
And Goonies.
Yeah, his big hits.
And Jonah Hex.
Apparently burnt his asshole. Which my thing is, how long do you have to do that for? Is it just that is such a delicate flower, a delicate moonflower that has never seen the sun? That just one wink at it and it's just crisps right up.
It's a very good point. He was just laying on some very expensive, freshly sanded dock that he owns, and just got his UV.
I think he just fell asleep drunk. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I could see it happening that way. But that this is what I'm going to say for the butthole sunning thing, and this is me reaching.
Wait hell of a sentence.
You know when you're watching pornography and someone's got terrible tan lines and it just kind of takes you out of it for a moment? You kind of just notice. Maybe it doesn't take you out of it, but you notice it.
All right.
Yeah? Okay. You do know what I'm talking about.
I'm thinking about the things that have taken me out of it with pornography. It hasn't been tan lines.
Well, like...
It's been like a bunch. It's usually been like a bunch more dicks. Been like, well...
Yeah, let's me try to talk about my wellness.
Oh, Anyways. Look at this guy 15 feet away just pulling on it, waiting for his turn. That usually takes me out of it. That's not my kind of thing.
Well, what I'm trying to get to, Kyle, is...
All right, sure.
So I have a touch of OCD, and so I like for things to be completely done. And these movie stars, they're all tan and they're all cut. What's the one part of them that's not tan? A butthole. Okay. So for me, it's like it's kind of like signing the painting. There's like a little bit of... That's the only way I could see me ever doing something like this, is just being like, well, this one part doesn't match the rest of me, so I need to tan my butthole.
But... So all summer you're out with your exposed area, and then one fell swoop you're gonna tan your ass to catch up with months and months of you having your arms out in the sun. I don't know about. I think it might feel good for a couple minutes.
You think so? Yeah, I could see that. I'm just saying I would like to match all the way. That's the only reason I see it.
But that's not the point of it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying this is the only way I could do it. Maybe that would make me feel better.
Why is it supposed to make you? What's the health benefit of it?
It's supposed to balance your hormones, and you're supposed to get more vitamin, whatever comes from sun.
How? Vitamin D. You got skin everywhere.
It's the largest organ, in fact. Yeah.
And also, you realize this? You'll never see your own asshole with your eyes. God. The part of your own body, you'll never see it. That's a weird thing to think about, right? That you'll go your whole life with this body, and there's a part of it you'll never see.
It's pretty. I think it's vanity.
That unbalances my hormones, knowing that this is my vessel. I can't even explore the whole thing visually. So, but what's all this unbalanced hormones? Did somebody just read that and all of a sudden I'm probably like, what does it mean? What are unbalanced hormones? How do you know if they're unbalanced and that you got to go fucking blast your sunflower up to the sky?
This is really the cannonball for a mosquito problem. This is a very why can't we figure out another way to do this before we go into butthole sunning?
Oh, well, it's because you know what? It's truly... A lot of this wellness stuff is it's of rich people. Think butthole sunning. First off, it's because you've done everything else and you're bored. Also, you have private property to be able to do that on. We don't. None of us. We live in apartments or I'm just in a residential neighborhood. I have nowhere that I can confidently just fucking pull my loaf apart in the middle of the day. That's like, I've got acreage in Montana. And nobody with a telephoto lens is going to be out there, getting up my craw. That's this is just a lot of this is just wealthy stuff. And then people see it. And I think that's why we hate the culture of it. It's because it's only wealthy people that have access to this stuff and the free time to do it. You're not taking a part of your lunch break to suntan your asshole.
Yeah,
I got 30 minutes. I'm not spending 15 minutes on the roof of the office.
You're like, I gotta start this sandwich.
Thumbing apart my orange just to get a little vitamin D up there.
Yeah, you guys I gotta finish my sandwich and rub my temples for 10 minutes, and then hope nobody comes up into the break area.
I rushed too quick. I got Chipotle mayo up my asshole. The rest of the day is just a real fiery discomfort.
Yeah. And it's also kind of it's still and the idea is just kind of it also feels like your lipstick on a pig, right? If it's a vanity thing, because I don't think it's a health, I know they're saying it's a wealth or a health thing.
But people tan as a health thing. People think being tan is that's you getting the vitamins. It's not just vanity and how you look. I mean, it's a lot of it.
Yeah.
But people think tanning is healthy. And all right, we got the list here of different kinds. Cryotherapy, which
Demolition Man,
taking ice baths, everything. I mean, you put ice packs on your joints And that's so that's proven. I don't think that's
not crazy because there's like everyone knows that like elements like heat and cold can help and like reduce pain or like symptoms.
Yeah.
Cryotherapy is the one where they just put you in like a tank and freeze you for a bit, and it like relieves all your aches and pains, and like you heal faster. So that actually seems more possible. Yeah, there was this one. Some of it is just kind of like Charlie found this one talk and walk therapy, and I basically what I gathered from it was that actually talking about your emotions while doing something physical is a way of like enacting endorphins to help you maybe reach a better place mentally from a physical side, which makes perfect sense to me because I've had moments where I was in a yoga class with John F. O'Donnell, and I got very emotional, and I was the worst one in it for sure. But by the end of it, I was just bawling. Like something came out of me from all the physical exertion, and so I thought the talk and walk therapy, I thought it was right. I could agree with it and see myself doing something impact, like putting that into my practice of like wellness if I had one, which I don't. But also, I thought that was just kind of like, just go do some hard work. Like it's also a way like you get things out of you. Like that's kind of the older way of, more blue-collar immigrant way of thinking, like put him out to work in the yard, he'll get it out of his system, like that kind of stuff.
But that's true. Like think about the counterparts of the stuff that we think are silly and new agey, but really did have like the type of people that would make fun of it. The counterparts are there. There's like the salt saunas and everything. Salt, like an ionized air, and it sounds like corny, but then it was like, I'm gonna go take a steam. I'm going to go take a steam bath. I'm going to sit in a sauna. How many old folks like, sauna's good. Sweat it out. You got to sweat it out. But then if you were to like want to do a float tank, you can float. You can float in water like some weird California hippie. You got to float for something. Why are you sitting in a room just to sweat? So I think
agreed. Yeah.
And that stops me from being so knee jerk about wanting to make fun of new stuff. Like a lot of new stuff is stupid right away, or seems stupid until it comes around. I mean, I'm sure there's like audio therapy or like bass vibrations or something that can vibrate your muscles that somebody thinks helps them. And I might think that like the talking about your feelings instead of just sitting there and dwelling on them, but while also like thinking, like I know like with movement, like would just ride my bike up a hill. It's boring, but the things I'm thinking about aren't as stressful because I'm like, look at what you're doing right now. You got the time to have this activity. Yes. And so I think that does sound like a viable thing to do. I'm not going to drink pee. I might, if I could do it without getting arrested, I'd probably try and get a little sunshine on my ass. Because, like, the sun feels good. The sun feels good on your face for a little bit. You know when you're about to get burned. A quick little how you do, maybe it feels great.
Just give it a wink. Wink at the sun.
You got a removable shower head? You ever just blast down there real quick? And you're like, oh.
I do that, yeah.
It's not gay when it's your own butt. It's your butt. Imagine being so repressed. Imagine being so repressed that you won't even like touch your own butthole. There's people out there that think that that's gay, to touch your own butt, to enjoy your own body. And that's more sexual. That's not necessarily wellness. That's just love yourself. That's my message. That's my message is love yourself.
I do, before we like move over to the litter box, as I've been calling it, the callers. I still love it. Don't shake your heads. You guys both love it. This could be a great T-shirt.
Nobody loves it.
This T-shirt's going to sell like it either. Takes. They're going to make T-shirts that they're going to say, I played in the litter box, and everyone's going to love it.
You can front the cash for those.
I will. And you know what? It's going to be like Dogecoin. But I guess, talk and walk is basically our version, like a version of something we already had. I guess the rewording or renaming of stuff is kind of what turns me off from it, because it feels like it's a way to make a buck, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, like I like the idea of wellness a great deal, but I feel like there's just like a lot of vulture and like grifters around it. And like Ian Carmel said this to me once. He played football and he goes, man, I love football. I just hate everything around it. So like I love the game, but like the exploitation and everything. And I guess that's what I really have a problem with, because I think like a lot of this is horse shit, and it's really thinks people are going to feel better, and it could actually end up hurting them. Even if it like a product doesn't actually physically hurt them, it not working for them because you sold them horse shit can hurt them. Like health is a thing that is really personal and like can affect people if something doesn't work. Like I'm heavy. When a diet doesn't work, it fucking breaks my heart. Literally and figuratively.
Preying on someone. Yeah, the fact that it's wellness and you're preying on somebody's insecurities.
Yeah.
That's not like, you kind of already have to be well to understand wellness is just a consumerism that exists. Like you already have to kind of be in a good place to go like, well, this is bullshit, but I'm going to try. Well, it's when you're unwell and everybody's promising you wellness and they're taking advantage of you being unwell to be like, all you got to do is drink this glass of vodka with cinnamon in it and then go run around the block and then call your mom and tell her everything you feel about her and then you'll be fine. And that's where like, oh, okay, you're preying on people's
it's $300
lack of wellness.
It's like, and then like financially it can be crippling, and it's like, to me, a lot of this doesn't seem like the sleazy plastic surgeon who looks at a completely beautiful girl or man and goes, oh, we could really fix this about your body. Like, there's a part of that it feels very close to for me. So I guess that's the part I don't like. But the part I do like is the pursuit of it and it actually being legitimate.
No, I don't live in LA anymore, but there is just stores that just sell crystals.
Yeah.
They just that has a door that is a part of the electrical grid of the city as a store that sells crystals. And do you blame them or do you blame the people that are going, I'm going to go buy some crystals today? I want to feel better, because why is that any different than the Hallmark store?
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Precious moments and a teddy bear for somebody else. It's a fun gift to get people.
Yeah, I get. I can.
Hallmark for millennials is a crystal store.
I can go with you on this that too. I think one of the other things I think about is like, who decides the cost of these things? Like, I understand like manufacturing
seller's market.
Yes, it really is. And I'm like you go in, like, you look at some of these crystals. I've been in these stores with some jackass friends of mine. And I go in and they're like, oh, this one's good for this and this one's good for that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not going to buy one. Because then I look at the price and a rock that is like serves no purpose outside of when I look at it after this, I will think I wasted my money, is $30 sometimes for something that should like is the size of something that would be on a keychain.
The naivety of the customer dictates the cost. Yeah. Which is why there are crystal stores in Los Angeles or Williamsburg and maybe not in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
You know, it's understanding the market.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know what? We've got many callers.
We do
with opinions and attitudes.
Yeah.
And I think we should check on them.
All right, and we're back. This is No Accounting for Taste, and Kinane and I are talking about wellness culture today. And this is one of my favorite parts of the show, is when we have the callers come in. I didn't call it the litter box because I feel like you guys are waiting for it, but I just snuck it in that way instead. Now, let's see if our kitties want some milk. They filled our saucer this week.
If this is the litter box, it means you're referring to these voicemails as cat turds.
Whatever.
It's a toilet. You're calling it a cat toilet. We're asking people to call in and help us with the show, and you're calling the calls cat turds.
We got to clean out the box. I don't know. I'm just having fun. You really hate this litter box thing.
It's horrible.
It's branding, baby.
It's terrible branding.
It's not great, but maybe we'll fix it.
Can't fix it. You've been doing this shit for the last 6 episodes.
Oh, longer than
All
that.
right, let's go to the calls.
Let's hear from the kittens.
Let's go for this first one.
Okay.
Hey, I just want to say that I think wellness culture, health culture is actually very toxic, man. It's like, leave me and my cheeseburgers alone. You know what I'm saying?
That dude sounds like he's already well.
yeah, he does.
He's got it figured out, and that's why that stuff's toxic. They're preying. That's like I was saying. He knows they're preying on the weak, and he's not weak. He's just there with his cheesburgers. Leave him alone.
But who knows for how long this guy is going to be well? But I mean, I like the way he's fucking. This guy's out there on the patio having
cheeseburgers
alone. Yeah, it's fun. This is a thing though. What he says, like, eating cheeseburgers is not healthy, but there is a sense in getting a relief. Like a comfort is like is there any part of like comfort eating that is healthy? Do you see what I'm saying?
Dopamine.
Yeah. What is it? Like I've always put it like, why is it okay if you want to get your runner's high and like, oh, this person runs 20 miles a day and that's seen as healthy, even though they are destroying their body. Whereas if somebody wants to drink 10 beers a day, they're destroying their body in a similar fashion, but one is seen as unhealthy and addiction, and the other is seen as, what a health nut.
Yeah. And it's like, you like pulverize your body. Like, I think there's like, the only argument against your point is that it's like running is healthy for a bit, but like overdoing it can be terribly unhealthy. Like with anything,
but say that about all the stuff. Like, a little bit of eating this is okay. A little bit of cocaine just get you a couple more hours on a Friday night.
Yeah, fuck, turn on Bob Seger and go for it. Whatever.
I'm not doing lines. I'm just doing bumps. Fucking jerk.
Okay, well, this next caller has a ton of questions that she asks, and some of them seemed valid and some of them are a little out there, but here we go.
Hello, Shane and Kyle. So I'm curious if you think wellness culture leads to things like food poisoning. Does asshole bleaching or tanning or gooping your asshole lead to food poisoning?
Gooping.
Do you feel like there's any legitimacy?
I've been gooping my asshole.
The wellness culture that we're seeing pervasive. What are the coolest things you're actually seeing, and what are the craziest things you're actually seeing? And have you tried jade eggs?
Jade eggs.
Not J-Date? Not J-Date.
Not J-Date. No. I mean, I guess that's wellness for some, but jade eggs is what she said.
I mean, I want to be very clear about this. My food poisoning this week was not from wellness. I'll get that out of the gate right now. I'm certain it can be. Like, like some people get wrapped up in this shit, like anything, and then just do too much of it and they make no progress with it. Who fucking knows? Maybe.
But I mean, food poisoning is generally caused by like germs being on food and you not properly washing your hands. And I'm a little confused as to how.
That felt a little insinuative.
Or somebody who's preparing your food's hands.
Yeah,
but
thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. So I'm
pretty
confused.
sure food poisoning usually starts at the Clayton Plaza Hotel in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay. Well, there is a statistic that it's like 70% of food poisoning cases you in fact gave yourself food poisoning, but whatever. So anyhow,
I should have it every day.
Yeah, I'm not taking this shit off of you, lady.
But I'm curious as to how, like, asshole bathing is going to make you get food poisoning.
I can't stop hearing asshole bathing and just thinking of like a bunch of jerks in a hot tub. Every time, like, what?
I'm gonna get sun-kissed.
But so food poisoning. Oh, you shit yourself for 48 hours. But oh, my lemonade cayenne syrup drinks, I shit myself for 72 hours. What? I think, like this caller, I think it can lead to extreme behaviors and unhealthy behaviors. I know people that were on a keto diet and they were fucking miserable and they were aggro because they weren't getting the stuff they needed. You're still not getting nutrition, but like we said, I don't know if anybody's calling keto wellness, or is it just like, I'm gonna lose weight?
Yeah, I mean, I think
and knowing that I'm losing weight not in a healthy way.
I think like doing just enacting to an extreme, and like bluntly is like, you don't go run 10 miles if you haven't been running. You know, like I think that's like the kind of thing that like it's a shock to your system or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And I think like and through all of mankind, I'm pretty sure there hasn't been a lot of butthole sunning in its history. So I mean, maybe there could be something bad about it too. You know, like I don't know, but maybe.
I mean, we do seem very.
Maybe there's a reason
fixated
it's not
on
supposed to see the sun.
Yeah, it does seem hidden, tucked away.
Yeah, it does the worst thing. Why would it need? Yeah, the giver of all life.
I mean, okay, how about the basic wellness of a squatty potty? You using a squatty potty?
I've actually found some relief from it. I don't have one, but I have this one.
No, it's the absolute best, and it like makes sense to me. Now, people think it's a silly thing or like something you shouldn't talk about. Throwing your knees up that way, like how Turkish toilets, you like squat over the hole and everything. I absolutely agree that, without being too graphic, not that we haven't already crossed that line, multitudes, more comes out in a cleaner fashion.
Yeah,
and I think it serves its
an
purpose.
efficiency.
It might be looked at. So there's something that when you first heard about it, we're probably like a squatty potty. I'm gonna like, what's wrong with the toilet? I'm gonna adjust the way I shit, and then you do it. You're like, this is great. And bidets. What are you doing if you don't have a bidet?
Really?
How are you living your life when you realize what a truly clean asshole is?
Keep going.
I want you to take a Snickers bar, put the whole bar in your mouth, chew it up, spit it out of your mouth, with your mouth puckered, and keep your mouth puckered, and then take a napkin and then try to clean your mouth. And you're just rubbing shit all over. That's what you're doing with your asshole.
Well, you ruined two things for me: shitting and Snickers bars. I get what your analogy is.
You
spot
get a
on.
bidet, and you realize like, oh, this is a talk about wellness, and I'm not even trying to make jokes. Then you get to leave the bathroom going, oh, I didn't just fucking smear shit all over my ass. I cleaned my ass. And then you walk around going, I got a clean ass right now. I don't know if you've ever been camping.
You're not
for
wrong.
Like
You're not
days.
wrong. You're not wrong. I'm with you on this.
Yeah, haven't showered for 2 days camping. You finally get like a wet wipe up in there or something. Your mood is immediately better. So there is a connection, I think, with the asshole and the well-being. And now I've convinced myself I need to show my butthole to the sun.
Oh God!
I will need bail money.
I mean, you're in Oregon. It's not illegal.
Yeah, it's not illegal, but also
I just meant the sun's not out very often.
Oh,
also,
right,
it's going to be tough to do. It's
Yeah,
not illegal. Butthole's not a sex organ.
Nudity.
As long as you're not being sexual.
Nudity's
you're
not
fine.
illegal.
No, you can't.
Oh, Beaverton, you're about to get an eyeful after a few more cans of wellness.
Whoa. Hot ones from the hot one in the hot zone.
But anyway, that was my thing that I got lost on. I don't know where I was going, but does wellness lead to all this? Yeah, you can definitely get carried away with
anything, but yeah, with wellness too. And I think that's the thing that people should talk about in wellness culture if it's a real thing. Like, address that you guys, some people may overdo it. Like, I think that's also, I know, like, the more they overdo it, your fucking bank account goes up and you get to sell more tummy tea or whatever, but...
the tea, Steve Jobs just eating fruit.
Yeah.
You know? No, man, you can't do that. That's...
Yeah.
How are you this guy and then you're just fruit? But how are you this also Steve Jobs?
Yeah.
But then just fruit?
Yeah, it's just weird. And that's the thing. That is a thing where, like, you know, these people might have some expertise on, like, one thing, and then they endorse something next to it that is not exactly, like, if you're an esthetician, like a skincare person, maybe that person should be maybe, like, talk about, like, maybe you should sun your butthole. Maybe take it from that person. But maybe don't take it from...
Some random Instagram person.
Yeah, or, you know, like, maybe consider the source a bit.
No, there's a lot of like, oh yeah, I'm, you know, I work in the music industry. How's that? Oh, I actually plow the parking lot at Guitar Center. That's like, they're not part of that. Like,
no, yeah.
Well, like, I go to my skin, I go to my dermatologist often, so now I have ideas of how this works.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I work at a hospital. You should always ask, what does that person do there? Like, there's a lot of jobs in a hospital, you know? Like,
I clean the windows. I get to look at everything they're doing.
Yeah. It's like, you know those jars that keep all the toes? I stack them.
I like the send. You know those jars that keep all the toes. Like, people are like, oh yeah, the toe jars.
The toe jars, yeah. And they're like, no, and they're like, yeah, that's not a job at the hospital. Again. Yeah.
But, well, we're criticizing wellness right now. We got a call from Caleb, and he's about it.
I like that last call, though. That was a good question.
Yeah. Okay, here's Caleb.
Hey guys, my name's Caleb. Just calling in to give my thoughts on wellness culture in general. I think people have different ways of, you know, finding some kind of peace of mind or oneness or just relaxation or whatever the word is for it, when you just get to clear your thoughts and just be, you know, at peace. And you know, we all have different ways of doing that. I think for a lot of people, they use, you know, drugs and alcohol, and that can end up, you know, eventually killing you or causing you to lose your job or whatever it is.
Or have a great time.
And for other people, it's whatever their means of wellness is. You know, mindfulness, yoga, sitting in a big tank to float or whatever. And then some people take those things and they see that it brings people joy, and they say they commodify it. You know, they make money off it. That's what you get. You know, because that's what we do. So we do it as a culture. We commodify medicine and food and water and shelter and happiness. You can commodify happiness apparently, and that's what wellness culture does. So is it good? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think it's fine. I think you do whatever you got to do to be happy, and you know, that's it. Those are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts on wellness and wellness culture. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Caleb.
All right.
That lengthy measure. I detest the idea of commodifying happiness. Anyway, a word from our sponsors. No.
Here at St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
But that's what we were saying before. I agree with Caleb. It's like, the thing isn't bad. It's the culture and the trying to bilk people out of it. But the pursuit of wellness isn't what we should be mocking.
There's a weird thing when expertise becomes like you become a spokesperson or like a Dr. Oz kind of type person, you know, like where you're like, you are like, he's a very accomplished doctor. I listened to a podcast about him, but it's also like, you know, he kind of hawks shit and maybe stuff that's not really medically proven, which isn't what a doctor should be doing. Yeah, like I mean, I think make a few bucks, I guess, but not really, because you're already a doctor. You should be making, I don't know, like. No,
everybody can be corrupted by money. I mean, there's, you know, look at mega churches. That's what the Lord wants you to have, are private jets. And again, do we criticize them for taking advantage of people, or do we criticize the people that are being taken advantage of for not being smarter? Like, there's dumb and there's ignorant. You know?
I feel like I can't criticize the people for trying it, because I think you go to those places for wellness with these things because you think something's wrong with you or you don't feel good a lot of the time. Like, you're looking for a remedy for something. I don't criticize them for trying it. I criticize them for preaching about it. You know, like, health is a very personal, wellness is being well is a very personal thing, and it's not like generally applicable. You know, like, so I don't know. I mean, I criticize everyone. Like, I'm trying not to.
I think it's it's wellness accessories. Go to the doctor or go to the shrink, and then whatever extracurricular wellness stuff. All right, you're on your own. You know, you want to try aromatherapy or this or that. It's, well, granted, now you can get in a deeper conversation about, well, how fucked up is the American healthcare system? I don't know. I spent $20 on crystals because I can't afford the copay to go to a real doctor. So I'm trying these alternative things just to see, because my actual medical costs are I can't fathom those right now. So I gotta go.
That's a very fair point. Yeah.
Fun smells, and hopefully that makes my blues go away.
Yeah. I guess
I wonder what wellness culture is like in countries with socialized medicine. I wonder how much bullshit exists where people go like, "Oh, I just don't feel good. I'm just going to go to the doctor and pay $5. I don't have to like wish at a constellation and then rub 2 oranges together."
I don't gotta hang 2 dream catchers outside of my window and then wet them down with ammonia every 3 hours. And,
I would love to see how much of that stuff. How many crystal shops are in like Sweden or something where they can just they take sauna. They love saunas. Their whole thing: take a sauna and then socialized medicine. And don't they have the best quality life and the longest living people?
Is that true? About the Swedes?
I don't know. Pulled it out of my ass. But Charlene's
they look great.
I do believe it is true. I was just trying to look up crystal shops in Sweden, and I found several of them.
Yeah, but they're probably like based in some sort of like, this sauna. One complements the color of a room. Yeah. Or they are truly just accessories to your life, and not I have stress. I need this rock.
You are correct. They are in fact accessories. It looks like they're just etched images of like children and relatives and stuff.
What? It's decorative.
Yeah, exactly.
It's for an aesthetic.
Oh, memory of a loved one. Oh, yeah. Why not get the image of a dead child that looks like a ghost sitting on your desk?
Horrifying. Jesus Christ.
Hey, this person's passed away. Can I get a translucent 3-dimensional image of them?
Yeah. It's like NFTs have just been made actual things you can touch now. It's fucking disgusting. Oh, thanks. Well, maybe these Swedes got a few good ideas, but I don't know about their fucking interior design.
That and they love their death metal.
They do.
Should we go to our last caller here?
Yep, here we go.
Yeah. Oh, this guy.
Was my favorite one from this week, actually.
Solid advice coming out of this one.
Hello. I saw your message about new agey shit, and I tried a salt tank the other day, and it was pretty incredible, but I must say that you do not have sex the day or possibly the day before you go in, because your penis hole or vagina will just burn the whole time. But they do give you Vaseline and shit, so you can just lube up. It's still kind of weird, but very cool. Okay, bye.
Good for the salt tank thing is good advice.
Don't salt up your urethra.
Yeah, I know that one. I've gotten soap in my pen holder.
Don't margarita rim your gooch. That's good.
Hey, you been at the beach all day? Hey, do yourself a favor, hose off before you get into the house. Yeah.
Don't can't have that. That makes sense that you don't want your delicate bits getting all salty. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that is something you probably don't get told before. Maybe people who do those float tanks tell you that. Maybe they're
because it's extra salty. It's saltier than the ocean.
Yeah,
to make you float.
Yeah, I did one, and it didn't really take for me, but I can still kind of. It didn't turn me completely off either. I think it also might be a thing I need to get into a little more, like more of a practicing it or whatever you want to say. Get it in my schedule a bit.
I did one, and it was fine. Like, I'm glad I tried it. Same thing. I left indifferent.
Yeah.
It was kind of like mini golf. You know, maybe I'd do it again in a few years. If we're going to go do this. Like, all right, I haven't done that in a while. Sounds fun.
Yeah. And also, this is the thing, like, you know, like we really should, like, harp on is that, like, it may work for other people and not for you. Like, like some people really might get something out of it. Like, I mean, not everything on that we've talked about today. I think a lot of it, I think, is fucking bullshit. But some of, you know, like, I think the salt tank thing, there's like an actual. I think it seems like a little more practical to me to like think you could float and
if you already meditate,
out of it.
If you know how to meditate and you can lock into that, because I don't, I acknowledge that meditation is a skill. To be able to get into that place and get into that presence of mind. And you can then pair that with the sensation of floating. I bet that's a great time.
Yeah, yeah.
I would say get the meditation part down first. Because otherwise I was just sitting there floating at first being like, man, floating's cool. And then I was like, I got nothing to think about for a while.
I'm bored. And I did the same thing.
Yeah, it just turned into me trying to fall asleep at night going, remember how you didn't say thanks loud enough? And the lady at Burger King thought you were a dick. Let's think about that for 45 minutes. So
you raise an interesting thought with the meditation combined with the salt tank thing. It's kind of like the talk and walk therapy. It's like it's a dual approach, you know. So I think maybe I could try that again if I'd have to start meditating again. I tried it a few times.
But just don't have sex before you go in there, Shane. You shouldn't have a problem with it.
All right. That's a cheap way to get out on a laugh, Kinane. You know, you just so you know.
Charlene's laughing. Charlene laughed.
I enjoyed it very much.
Charlene laughed.
What does she know? She only produced the best comedy festival in the country for 10 years. What does she know?
It's a good joke. Solid joke.
Yeah, you're full of those. You're full of those.
Not me. I fuck. I'm going to burn my dick in a float tank. I'm going to burn my asshole with the sunshine. I'm on fire, dog.
I'm not going to change a thing, and I'll still be like this next time I see you when we record next week.
Meow, meow, bitches.
Meow. Yeah, you did it. There comes the kitty cat. Give me a little scratch. Give me a little scratch. Give me a little.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Just let me see them claws, kitten.
Please don't.
You've gone feral, and I like it.
Well, this has been another episode of Shane leaning too close to the camera with your hosts, Kyle and Shane.
Where are all these dicks coming from? What did I do to you today?
I don't know.
I thought you were my friend. I thought you were my good
I'm
friend.
sorry, I had a few too many cans of wellness.
Yeah. Throw a punch after the bell, you fucking prick. Fight dirty.
I think you need to work on some wellness, Shane.
Oh, yeah. I don't think well people do what you just did to their friends. You're lashing out. That's weird.
I'm great.
I'm going to go drown myself in a salt tank. Kyle's going to have another can of wellness. And Charlene is on the Whole30 diet. Join us next week when we talk about non-fungible tokens. Is it the new Christ?